Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And yes, we're doing a massive 500 XRP giveaway. How can you enter? Well, it is very simple. All you have to do is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. And if we hit 1,000 likes within 24 hours, I am hopping on the live stream and announcing the giveaway winner live. We could even do it so that we give this XRP away to multiple people, where we just split it up so that 5 or 10 people can win some. Some of you guys said you'd rather prefer that. I can understand, because you have a 10 times higher chance to win that way. Again, think about that one. Again, also follow me over on Twitter, check it out, and let's get into the video of today. First off, I saw a lot of debates about SDRs today. I've been checking out Galgatron for the longest time because I've been getting spammed in my notifications here with this SDR discussion. We can check it out here, right? It's just going back and forth, because Martin Falk a couple of months ago posted something which said, what I think is going to happen and what XRP's role is going to be. I would love your feedback, and it's basically about the big common reset of the international monetary system, which does not make a lot of sense in realistic terms. However, it is something to kind of strive, is that a real word? Strive for, or something you would kind of like hope to happen, like a little bit of hopium in that sense. It is cool though, because it took a lot of work, I think, to put this together. Galgatron said though, SDRs are no longer defined by gold. Thank you for the link. However, I am well aware of this. The point is to move away from the current situation. The current situation shouldn't have gold depicted the way you did, or you're suggesting the gold should return back to the SDR? Exactly. And he said that's not how it works. SDRs can't return to gold standard for the still present reason they left the gold standard, the inability to control distribution. Read the article to understand the two criteria of SDR basket inclusion that makes SDR stable. SDR, that whole system, and anything along those lines is theoretically speaking not possible. The same way that somebody wanting all the Bitcoin back or wanting to control Bitcoin realistically is not that possible. Let me explain to you. If gold is held by somebody, it is almost impossible to take it back. And by the way, I don't know if I can still get back to my, yes, right here. I don't know if it really is possible to take it back. Because, I mean, if I have gold in my backyard, I mean, somebody needs to go snitch. Otherwise, when the government going to find out I have it there, if you guys get me? You know, if I bought it on the low, nobody's going to know I have it. Same for cash money. The government, they can't track exactly where it is, so they will never be able to get it back. However, the government can get rid of a lot of cash or introduce a lot more cash if they want to. With gold, though, since it's either, or first of all, a fixed supply, there's not really that much more. They can't just print more and more. And also, they really cannot take it away that easily as electronic money. I mean, cash and gold kind of follow the same point, but that's also, in my opinion, why they want to get rid of cash, because it's a lot less easy to have control over, and also a lot less tax that people need to pay. Because if you have cash, at least as far as I know now, you have to pay tax on cash you have. At least in the Netherlands, it's so. If you have cash more than 500 euros, I think you have to pay some tax on that, at least in the end. However, even if you have $10 billion in cash, who's going to know, theoretically speaking, right? So you don't have to pay tax on any of your money if it's in cash. And I don't think the government likes that at all, that people can hide their money. So they would like everything online. With an SDR and with anything along a gold standard and things like that, it kind of is the same way. It's really physical, and thus there's less control over it. And the thread went on and on and on. You guys can check it out, why gold standard doesn't really work in the end, though, because you can't control it. The government can't control it, yada, yada, yada. Here it was said by the IMF website describing XRP. And the section was e-currency ESDR offers an innovative solution. So in this regard, the e-currency ESDR TM solution enables financial service providers, including fintech companies, to conduct cross-border payments using a global digital composite asset of stable value, namely ESDR, available to any payment network. ESDR will serve as a unit of account and medium of exchange of the transacting parties. The value of the ESDR is based on the basket of currencies on the IMF's special drawing rights. And I think it is interesting to see the connection between this and, of course, XRP. However, they did mention stable. And I don't know if I missed something, but as far as I know, XRP is not a real stablecoin. And I don't know if they would have said it that way. On the contrary, using a global digital composite asset of stable value, it could be relatively stable. In the end, though, I don't think this mentions XRP in any way, shape, or form. You can see kind of the debates going on about that one, but meh. However, and that's where kind of the strange part comes in. If what Galvatron kind of talks about here is not the truth, which again it isn't in my opinion the truth. I agree with his opinion and I agree with what he's saying. If it were, however, not be the truth, that could be where XRP comes in, because then the whole SDR theory with gold standard and things like that then come into play, and then also what Martin Falk here has described with this whole bigger system, gold, SDR, and Ripple, XRP, things like that, just a whole big system, which I recommend you guys to check out yourself, because, I mean, if I have to go over this whole system here, we'd have to take another hour or two to get into everything. But basically, this whole situation is pretty damn intricate. But it all goes from the perspective that there's a little bit of a gold standard, or something along those lines. Either gold standard, or I don't know how to say it in the best way. Let's just go for a gold standard. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you guys are using iPhones. Let's not go into that issue. I wanted to compare a gold standard to iPhone sort of standard of using it, but I think it's a little bit too intricate to talk about today. We'll get to it another day, another subject, if I prepare it a little bit better. The point is of all of this, because you might be asking you, why am I talking so much about SDR? It is important because it's really going to show, in my opinion, how extremely big XRP is going to get. If a whole system like this is were to be used, but guys, my English is really not doing its best right now. By the way, I'm not a native speaker, but normally I think it's okay. And today it's not working. I don't know what's going on. With this system, XRP would get to such a huge amount of use that it's really the center of the world, kind of. Even though, of course, that's gold, it would be kind of the center of the world. With the way it's going right now, it's going to be very, very important, but it's going to be really the backbone. It's really not going to get that prominent of a role, and thus the value would be a lot less high. However, again, think about that one for a little bit today. I think it was a pretty cool thing to think about. And you can also check out Martin Falk here and check this little drive out for the PDF of what is said and read it. Crypto Airy just posted on Twitter, the daily hold also covers important aspects of yesterday's video discussion about XRP and the Flare Network's smart contracts. Pretty cool. All right, pretty cool video from Crypto Eddie. Didn't actually get a chance to check it out fully, but the point is quite clear, and it's basically about the whole Flare situation, Flare, Spark, XRP, and all of that. Personally, still convinced Flare is a little bit too much of a money grab for my personal taste. I think what they're doing is very smart, and it's an easy way to get yourself to a billionaire status. However, I can also see the necessity, maybe not necessity, the use. I could just see the use and the purpose of why this was created, and that's also why I'm not really mocking it in any way, shape, or form. And in the end, it's also free money from Spark, so I would also not really deny it in any way, shape, or form, right? So that's why I'm always being positive surrounding it, because I'm like, you are getting free money. In the end, I'm also quite negative against it because it's just a quick money grab for the founders, is what I kind of feel. They would get so much money off of this that it's not good. QSR Warp said on Twitter, XRP is just that, XRP. XRP is a counterparty free, meaning that when someone holds XRP, they're not holding a liability, they're holding the actual currency, XRP. Due to this fact, XRP cannot be frozen by any entity or individual, which is really, again, what we were kind of talking about earlier today with these SDR by gold standard things. And the basic talk there is about it's not being able to be controlled. With XRP, that's kind of the same way as well. Even though XRP cannot be frozen, theoretically speaking, it kind of can be. Like we talked about earlier, I mean, there are ways to really, I guess, kind of void everything. And the more amendments or proposals come along, the heavier this is most likely going to be getting, as that will be very profitable, as it is against spam and things like that. In the end, let's go from this standard, as I think the real rule is that it cannot be frozen. Gold is just that. Gold has no counterparty risk. The way we are having it right now, though, it is not. And the way we're having it right now is with the current system. Yeah, if you think about that one, again, it makes Ripple kind of cool, right? Or the way that Ripple is using XRP. ETFtrends.com. Bitcoin poised to rally back following a recent slide. I actually went to do a little bit of TAing earlier today, and I kind of noticed that there are a couple of really good opportunities for Bitcoin to really recover heavily and get back to a bullish move. The downside to that, though, is that TA was hours upon hours ago, and we've already moved up about $200 since I did it. And no, I did not buy into it because I'm dumb and I was a little bit too lazy to go ahead set buying orders, but I should have, because we moved up $200, I think, since I did it this morning. I think it was like 9 a.m. Maybe it was a little bit earlier, though. Maybe it was 7 a.m. I don't remember. It was somewhere in the morning when I woke up. And, well, yeah, pretty damn crazy move. Could have made a little bit of profit right there. But I didn't. However, in the end, though, I do think we're poised for some bigger gains here. And I do think the relatively short-term outlook here is quite positive for Bitcoin. Even though for XRP specifically, I was being quite negative. And kind of neutral at the same time. This support level is critical for XRP, but what's next? Well, I told you guys all about that a little bit earlier today. Some important supports, 23.6 cents, 22 cents, and 21.6. Some key resistances, 24.4, 25 cents, and 26.4. Still counts, still the way it is. You can see Fibonacci here as well if you guys want to. And yeah, do with it as you please. Do with it as you please. Do with it as you please. Move a little bit further, though. Tron TRX price gains 9% as 210 million of TRX is locked up in Sun Genesis mining. I think you guys all know I'm not really a fan of Tron at this point. However, I do think that they are a master at marketing. And I do also think there is some profit to be made holding Tron and maybe going for the mining. However, if you're going to go for it and some value gets opened, sell it as soon as possible would be my advice. Get rid of it as soon as possible. And another piece I had before we get into my last controversial piece was from VeChain. VeChain CEO presents 6-phase model for blockchain adoption. VeChain CEO presented a 6-phase model for the adoption of the VeChain Thor blockchain at an event for the Shanghai British Chamber of Commerce. According to Sunny Liu, phase 3 and 4 were almost reached by the leading companies before innovation projects were slowed down by CV9. You guys get it. So that's pretty cool. And VeChain new consensus algorithm offers strong performance and security. The VeChain Thor blockchain will receive a new consensus algorithm called Surface, or Proof of Authority 2.0, to meet the growing demand from enterprises. The POA 2.0 uses a dual consensus model, which gives users the flexibility to choose different levels of security for their transactions. Yeah, I have no comment on this one. No negative anything, and no additional comments in this way, because, I mean, it's pretty obvious, as I just told you guys all. There's no other things you need to look into for this one on a basic level. It's just really, really positive. Just really, really bullish, really, really nice. Really, really happy to see. And then we got to get into the little bit of a controversial piece here. I talked about it in my previous video, but I don't know if that video is going to be up before this one is going to be. So that's why I'm quickly doing it kind of twice here. I have to address this article because I think it is very, very, very important to think about why Ripple is doing these types of things. Now, in my videos, I don't want to give my opinion on very controversial pieces when they are, I guess, talking about race or anything political and things like that. I don't want to, because I don't think that's really my place. All right, I think that's really for you guys to decide. And I just want to report on some crypto news. I'm not here to give you guys my opinion on this type of stuff. That's not my job. That's not my life. That's not what I like to do. You know, you guys know what I mean. All right, that's not my job. That's not my place. However, I do think that I can't be here to give you guys some insights into, I guess, harder times, especially when you have some faith in a company and they say something crazy, or they make some PR move that you don't agree with, and how you should kind of take it in. Now, my advice, which again is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form, these videos are not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes only, is that I would recommend you guys to just think about why Ripple would put such a statement out, right? Because we saw a little bit earlier, let's see here, this is the video I made, that Brad Garlinghouse has also talked about, we've all seen the stats, companies with diverse leaders and board members are stronger, more strategic, and more equitable for their workforce. Today's pledge for board challenge is one of the many many steps Ripple and I are committed to pursuing to prioritize D&I. Whatever. What does D&I stand for again? Diversification and something else? Whatever. Doesn't really matter, in my opinion. Whatever. What is important for this all is I think Ripple has a bigger goal with all of this, because otherwise, why would they state it up publicly like this? It's either PR. It's in PR with that is then they want to go for goodwill from other instances where they look good, or it must be something else, which again you might be able to think about. I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a hint, because Ripple could have really done this without claiming it out loud. You know, they could have done it without saying, literally, but they didn't. They went out to state it publicly out there, knowing that their million followers would see it as well, of which a lot of would most likely really complain. Because I mean, it's an interesting statement to say the least coming out, right? A lot of people complained. A lot of people complained. So I just want to recommend you guys to check into why they would have said this. What could be the reason they posted something like this? Because again, you could see it from a couple of different perspectives. You could see it from a perspective of they just want to follow the hype and do this for extra money, from the instances which are, you know, they look like a very charitable and progressive company. You could see it from the way of they're just following the statistics. They want to go from something like that. You could say it from they're just a racist company. You could draw a lot of conclusions. But I want to know from you guys, why do you think they've done this? And, you know, just comment down below or send it to me on Twitter. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video, because that was it for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys again in another one. Enjoy your day, everybody. And also, have a very nice end of the week or whatever.